إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ورسولنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاد. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. وقال الله تعالى في شان حبيبه مخبرا وآمرا قولا كريما إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. وبعد. Respected ulama, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise and thanks is due to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla Jalal wa Amman Awal, for having afforded us this opportunity of being here in this masjid on this auspicious day of Jumu'ah. May He accept our presence. May He accept our presence. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, nobody swallows a more bitter pill than that of anger for the pleasure of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody swallows a more bitter pill than that of anger for the sake of Almighty Allah, for the pleasure of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is our topic today, inshaAllah. Something that is important for us to understand. We've come to the month of Rabiul Awwal, the month that is closely associated with the birth of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And it is all well to want to celebrate, but we need to celebrate the life of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam by implementing the sunnah of our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If we say we love him, we've got to show that you do not want to cause hurt and disappointment to the one who you claim to love. And what would disappoint him would be for us not to follow in his footsteps, for us not to take the guidance that he has left behind. And so what would please him would be for us to take lessons from the life of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was so in control of his emotion that the ashab would say that they would only know the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam became angry because his face would turn red and they would see signs of anger in his face. But never would they display or show or say that the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam became so angry that it seemed as if though he lost his senses, which is the case in our lives many of the time. To be angry is to revenge the fault of others upon ourselves. To be angry is to revenge the fault of others upon ourselves. It is easy to fly into a rage or into some kind of, angry state. Anybody can do that. But to be angry with the right person, to the right extent, at the right time, with the right object and in the right way, that is most certainly not an easy task. And it is not everyone who is able to control their anger in this manner. Anger is the annihilation of the heart of the wise. He who cannot control his anger cannot control his mind. Therefore the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam made it clear, and he said, the strong man is not the man with power, with physical power, but it is the man that can control his anger. That is a strong man. أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. An angry man, whatever the reason is for his anger, whatever the reason is for his anger, he realizes how meaningless it was after he calms down. And in most cases, after he calms down, he realizes that he should apologize to those that he insulted. I'm not saying if you insulted someone in your fit of rage, then we realize when we calm down that we should actually apologize to the person who we swore or we insulted. And if you accustom yourselves to admitting the uselessness, if you can become accustomed to admitting the uselessness of anger when it occurs, then you will insha'Allah reduce the degree of unwanted consequences in your life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, in verse 134 of Surah Al-Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الذين ينفقون في السراء والضراء, those who spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in moments when they are going through ease, في السراء, when things are easy, والضراء, and they spend in times of adversity, وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, and those who can control their anger, their rage, وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ, and they are forgiving towards people, they are forgiving towards mankind. وَاللَّهُ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who are good doers. Beloved people of Iman, people of Islam, a righteous person who has fallen into sin or error does not whine or despair, but begs for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness. The faith and the iman of such a person who has fallen into error, but if they have iman, they have hope, and they turn to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he or she is sincere, that means abandoning the wrong conduct and making amends with those that they have offended and with Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is common knowledge that anger and frustration, which occurs as a result, which as a result of this anger and frustration, what happens? We affect our health negatively, according to many much research that has been done. According to health specialists, anger, if pushed too high, can even result in one's death. Now let's imagine what kind of intensity one would have to get to that state. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala states very clearly that he who does not restrain his anger speeds up his death process or gets closer to death. Now obviously, when the Prophet ﷺ said, أَنَا مَدِينَةُ الْعِلْمِ وَعَلِيٌّ بَابُهَا, that I am the city of knowledge and Ali is this door to the city of knowledge, we can understand the immense knowledge that Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala would have possessed. And when he says that someone who cannot restrain his anger, in fact, hastens his death, meaning Sayyidina Ali is saying that someone who doesn't control his anger puts himself in a very bad state of health, because we know that life and death comes from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He continues to say, avoid anger, for its beginning is ludicrous and its end is only sorrow. How many times have you gone into a fit of rage, brothers and respected elders? How many times have you lost, and some people will even say, hey, he lost his iman in his fit of rage. The old people will still say, they've lost your iman in your fit of rage, because they understood the wisdom that was being passed on there was that in a fit of rage, you can say things, first of all, that you don't even come back and you cannot even recall that you've said that. How many men issue talaq to their wives in a fit of rage, they come back and they say, I didn't actually issue a talaq. Everybody else in the room remembers, but the man doesn't remember because he was in such a fit of rage. But you fired the bullet, brother. You fired the bullet. You had 3 bullets in that gun. You fired one of those bullets and now you want to go back and say you forgot you pulled the trigger. The person is dead. The person is dead or wounded. You've pulled one trigger in your fit of rage because you cannot control your anger. He also said anger is a raging fire. He who suppresses his anger, it extinguishes the fire. And he who sets his anger free, you know, that person who sets his anger free, that person will be the first person to burn in his own fire. It is reported that our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that verily anger comes from shaitan and he was created from fire. And verily fire is extinguished by water. So whoever of you become angry, let him go and take wudu, because wudu you make with water and that will extinguish the fire. So when you become angry, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in hadith, you know, we'll read it in the minbar inshallah. You know, a man came to Rasul and he said, Awsini ya Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, give me some advice, some good advice. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, La taghdab, do not become angry. But the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam didn't say, when he said don't become angry, he was not saying that you should never experience what anger is like. He said don't have the effects of a regular angry person. Don't have the effects of a regular la taghdab. Don't become so in a fit of rage that you are going to start reacting and acting upon your anger. This is what Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said. But beyond that, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also gave us advice on things we can do to calm ourselves down. Go and take wudu. And we will see later the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, you become angry and you're standing up, sit down. If you are sitting and you become angry, lie down. And also he advised to go and take wudu because it extinguishes the fire of anger. وعن ابن مسعود قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ألا أخبركم بمن يحرم على النار أو بمن تحرم عليه النار. A man, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, ألا أخبركم, should I not inform you بمن يحرم على النار, who the fire will not touch, أو بمن تحرم عليه النار, or who is that person that the fire will not be able to touch him. تحرم على كل قريب قريب هين لين سهل. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, shall I not inform you who the fire of Jahannam is forbidden to touch? It is forbidden to touch a man who is always accessible, having politeness and having a tender nature. Look how much advantage is there if we control our anger. That the fire of Jahannam, Prophet ﷺ said, the fire of Jahannam, تَحْرُمُ عَلَيْهِ, it is haram upon him for the fire to touch him because he managed to control his anger. Because he managed to be accessible, because he managed to be polite, because he managed to have a tender nature. Is it not worthwhile then we strive our whole lives, we endeavor to get so close to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be the best human beings we can be? We all would love that. Yet the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, yeah, here's some crib notes. Look at it. Check. How can I become a better human being? Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to us, if you want the fire of Jahannam to be haram upon you, be accessible, be polite, and have a tender nature. Like we said, anger is that fire that is lodged in the heart of man. And as upward motion is the nature of fire, so too anger takes motion and rises to the upper parts of the body and consequently gives motions, expressions and gestures. Notice the next time you see someone going to a fit of rage, notice where the blood of his body rushes to. His face becomes red, his ears become heated and swollen, his hair becomes sweaty. All that comes to the top of his body because heat rises. And so that is the expression of anger going through his body. Your eyes become red and expand. The face is pumped. The ears are raised and all other organs are set into motion. The most important thing, brothers and respected elders, that while everything rises and while we can see the physical effects of someone in a state of anger, one of the most important dangers that this sets on is the fact that a person in a state of anger loses his sense or loses his wisdom. He loses his wisdom, wallahi, he loses his wisdom. The great gift of the brain from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala passes away and that person becomes a brute devoid of any senses. He walks through his house arrogantly. Someone angered him outside, or his wife angered him. He walks through the house. The children are shivering and crawling up into the corners of the house, staying out of the way of the father because he is in a fit of rage. How pitiful is that man who walks through his home? The beings that he is responsible, that Allah has put him in charge of. He walks through the home and those people want to steer clear of him because they don't want to be in the way of this anger. And should they come in his way, every small thing they do unsets a beating, or brings about some kind of insult, or brings about some kind of bad, foul language, or whatever the case is. How pitiful is that man, who the children who look up to him. Just to give you an idea, most of our kids know who the superheroes are. The superheroes should be Sayyidina Abu Bakr, should be Sayyidina Umar, Uthman and Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, and the other ashab ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim. But imagine they made a movie, this is just for understanding purposes, where Spider-Man came. And Spider-Man, in his fit of rage, decided that all his fans and all the people that look up to Spider-Man, he is going to start destroying them, like that black Spider-Man, you know, like the black one. The black one becomes a bad guy. Why? Because everybody starts fighting with all the bad guys, with all the good guys. And so the hero has turned into the villain. And wallahi, when you walk into your home, you are the hero of your children. And when you become angry, you become like the black Spider-Man. You become the villain. They looked up to you, you were the hero. And now when you turn to them and you're in that fit of rage and you just want to beat and insult and shout, you have taken that hero status away from you. You've become like the black Spider-Man, or the black Superman, or the black Batman, whatever. Black Batman is black, but or whatever. The white Batman. The fact is, brothers and respected elders, we laugh about it. Go to the children's homes and go and find out how many traumatized children there are because of what has happened to them in their homes. Go and find out, if you want to implement the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam in your life, if you want to have an eye-opener, go to those homes and listen to 5 children, 5 experiences that 5 children had in their life of their parents. And you tell me, if those children had not experienced that, had not been beaten into complete, till they were beaten till they were bleeding, or they were beaten till they could not even remember anything anymore. They are so traumatized, wallahi, that those children have automatically a disadvantage in making a success out of their life. They will take years to recover from the trauma that you have caused them. They will take years to recover from that trauma, wallahi. We're only speaking about children here. Leave the others, brothers and respected elders. So next time you become angry, next time you decide to go into a fit of rage, whether it is your close ones, your family, your wife and your children, or whether it is your friends or those around who you work with, ask yourself, do you want to leave that negative impact on that person's life that you would leave? More than harming them, you are harming yourself, as Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala reminded us. The conduct of shaitan has found a place in the man where anger has found its place. As Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us in verse 12 of Surah A'raf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Qala, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking to the shaitan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is conversing or the shaitan. So listen to the word so you know what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to shaitan. قَالَ مَا مَنَعَكَ أَلَّا تَسْجُدَ إِذَا أَمَرْتُكَ. He said to shaitan, قَالَ مَا مَنَعَكَ, what has prevented you أَلَّا تَسْجُدَ إِذَا أَمَرْتُكَ, that you should not make sujood when I have commanded you to make sujood. قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. Shaitan said to Allah, he responded to Allah when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him, what stopped you that you should make sujood when I ordered you to make sujood? He said, but I am better than shaitan, I am better than Adam. خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. You have created me from fire and you have created him from clay. Think about it, brothers and respected elders. What does fire have? Fire rages. Fire can go out of control. But what is earth? Earth is subservient. It is low down. It is what we walk upon. It makes itself available to mankind so that mankind can use it. It is so much more humble than fire. Ask yourself, what would you like to have as a trait in yourself? When you are building your character, you would like to be known as generous. You would like to be known as kind. You would like to be known as loving. You would like to be known as this, that, and the other. Would you not like to be known as gentle as opposed to a raging ball of fire? Certainly, being gentle, your nature, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam from clay. Certainly that nature should prevail and it will make us a much pure beings, inshallah. Like I said, earth is steady and calm while fire is unsteady, rising and burning. The result of anger is hatred on account of which man is completely ruined. We've said this before. And the Prophet ﷺ said, and I remind you, when one of you feels like that, like he's in a state of anger, let him sit down if standing, let him lie down if sitting, let him perform wudu or take a bath, as fire cannot be extinguished except with water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises the one who appeases his or her anger. And the way to appease our anger, the way to control our anger, something that we can mentally implement in our lives and actively implement in our lives, is to exercise sabr. I remind you again of the story of Sayyidina Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, when rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, when he was sitting and he was informed, by someone that his ships, the ships that he had sent out for business, had sunk. And he came to him and they said, look, your ships, they are no longer, whatever the case is. And he sits and he thinks to himself, and he says, Alhamdulillah. A while later, the person comes back and the person says to him, you know what, actually it was a mistake, it wasn't your ships that sank, we found them, they're safe. Not like the airplanes that go missing today, they actually found that stuff, right? So they came back and they said to him, it was a mistake. So he sits for a while and he thinks and he says, Alhamdulillah. They said, Sheikh, the people who are sitting on Sheikh, you are saying, that when they came to tell you that the ships is like no longer, you waited, you thought for a moment and you said, Alhamdulillah. And then the same thing happened when they informed you that the ships were saved or that had not sunk. Please explain this to us. And so the Sheikh says to them, look, I was not speaking, or I was not saying Alhamdulillah about the boats or the ships, whatever the case is. What had happened was, when they told me my ships had sunk, I looked inside my heart and I tried to see if this had affected me emotionally. And because I realized that my emotional state was the same, I said Alhamdulillah. And when they told me my ships were actually found, I looked again inside my heart and I saw that I didn't become so happy, I still remained the same emotionally. So the dunya is not affecting my soul. So that's why I said Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Brothers and respected elders, what we need to implement in our lives is a lot of these lessons where we can find and imagine our society. Imagine a society with, I was standing at one of the food outlets the other day and a man walks by and I was on my phone, I was sending an email and he walks by and he just knocks the phone out of my hand and falls and I'm thinking, please not on the screen, please not on the screen. And it didn't fall on the screen, alhamdulillah, and I picked it up. And I'm thinking, the man didn't even turn around and he didn't even say, sorry brother, I knocked your phone out of your hand or anything. He just walks on. And another man turns to me and says, that's elegant, that's very rude. Now, I didn't control my anger intentionally. It's just because I was hoping the screen was not broken, right? Because otherwise that costs a lot of money. And by the time I looked up, the man was gone and I couldn't be bothered to go after him or to go find out what the matter was. I wish I had the strength to control my anger like that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all, inshallah. But nonetheless, the point is, how many things, and I'm thinking about it because how many things happen in our lives that so easily, you know, you can drive by some areas and this guy standing on the corner, you know, with their big muscles and the tattoos all over, and you don't even look at them because you look at them wrong and they become angry already. Yeah, well, you didn't do anything, you just looked at them wrong and they're like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? You know, it's like, and then you become angry. So how easy is it not for us to become angry? And we want to be also macho and also brave. The slightest thing must trigger our anger. Is that really the sign of strength? Is that the sign of iman? Is that the sign of what we want to be like? Rather, let's just calm down. But by all means, in ending, I want to say this. This is like, you know, the disclosure at the end. You know, to say that becoming angry for the right reasons is not haram in Islam. If your child or your wife or your friend or your brother did something that was against the law of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by all means you can become angry with him. You can become upset with him, but control your anger. Channel your anger. And this is important for us to realize. We are not saying don't become angry because the Prophet ﷺ became angry as well. But he could control his anger. No one's saying when you come home from work, don't be angry in an angry mood. Something set you off, you became in an angry mood. But don't allow that to go over onto the kids. Don't allow that. Make it pleasant for them. Make it pleasant for yourself. Control your anger. Wallahi, you keep that inside of you and you learn to deal with it inside your heart, inshallah. Wallahi, it will be better for your health and it will be better for those around you, inshallah. So like we're saying, if you get angry, control your anger. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through His infinite mercy guide us, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the strength to control our anger. One more thing, if we do control our anger, we will see less fingers being pointed at this Muslim community. And that will be a benefit for the ummah at large. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.